Hello, my name is Jennifer Terri. I make Philippine Travel Updates. In this video, I'll guide you in your successful registration for One Health Pass. So, tutorial po ito ng pag-register ng One Health Pass. One Health Pass is the most important online registration that you need to travel to the Philippines. Okay? So, when you successfully register sa One Health Pass, you will get a unique QR code with OSS number. Okay? Who needs to register for One Health Pass? Kailangan ba lahat mag-register? Yes. All passengers including children must register. So each passenger must register, must have their own unique QR code like this one, regardless of country of origin and vaccination status. So for example, if you're a family of 4 traveling to the Philippines, then you would have 4 registration. So 1 registration per person. So per person po yung registration. So whether balikbayan, OFW, non-OFW, or foreign national, you all need to register for One Health Pass. Next, why register? Do I really need to do that? Yes, because it is a requirement for check-in upon departure. So before you fly to the Philippines, your airline will ask, "Sir, where is your One Health Pass QR code?" So it is required. Okay po, it will be asked upon check-in. Hahanapin po sa check-in. Second, your One Health Pass po, the records there, the information that you write there, put there will be used for your COVID testing. We know that you all will be tested upon arrival sa quarantine hotel. So, yeah, you need One Health Pass that will be used by the laboratories. And last is, using One Health Pass, you can track your negative or your COVID test result and get a BOQ certificate, which will be needed to be released from your hotel quarantine. Okay? You need it for boarding the plane, you need it for your COVID testing, you need it to be released from the hotel, so it's very, very important. So when to register? Jennifer, my flight is on January 1. Can I register now? No. When to register for One Health Pass? This was just recently changed and updated, so you must register 3 days before your arrival date in the Philippines. So for example, Jennifer, kababayan, tried to register today. Her arrival date in the Philippines is on December 17. Today is December 10, so 10 days pa. So, hindi ka talaga magiging successful. The system will not allow you to register too early. So, kailangan 3 days talaga before the arrival date. At least. So, it says here, thank you for indicating the date of your arrival. However, registration is only allowed within 3 days prior to departure. Please come back and register within 3 days before your actual arrival date in the Philippines. So, pakita ko sa inyo guys. Let me show you. Let's go to One Health Pass. Yan, One Health Pass. Punta tayo dito sa E-HTC. Struggle talaga ako pronounce ito. But please bear with me. Medyo mahinang internet sa Philippines. Sometimes, hindi din to nagwo-work to One Health Pass. Sometimes, when too many people are registering at the same time, hindi siya naglo-load. Hopefully, it doesn't happen to us, but yeah. Loading pa siya guys. Okay, so when you open, it will remind you that information that you write here must be accurate. Dapat tama po. Dapat we have to be honest. And don't worry po, if you make a mistake sa information that you put here, don't worry. We will be able to edit it, correct it, which I will show you din po. So for now, let's focus on registration. So have you already registered with One Health Pass? No. This is our first time. Okay, so it will ask us, when are you arriving in the Philippines? So for example, our arrival date is December 25, too early. Try lang natin, 'di ba? Try lang natin. Wala namang mawawala. Sige, 'di ba? Not allowed. Registration is only allowed within 3 days prior to departure. Register within 3 days before arrival date. So hindi talaga pwede. But if we try, so December 10 ngayon, if my flight is on December 13, yan, pwede. Pwede. So, dapat guys, 3 days before arrival date. Okay? Balik na tayo sa ating slide. Next question. Is One Health Pass and ECIF the same? The same. Unified na po. They are as one. Except if yung testing nyo is with Red Cross. So I'm showing you, for if you're landing in Manila, you only need to register for One Health Pass. Wala nang ibang registration na needed. If it's Cebu, yes, isa lang din, One Health Pass lang. If it's Clark, One Health Pass, plus if you are an OFW, mag-register din sa Red Cross. If you're landing in Lawag, One Health Pass lang. If you're landing in Bohol, One Health Pass lang. If you're landing in Subic, One Health Pass and Red Cross. So, dalawa po. If you're landing in Subic, direct. While if you're landing in Davao, usually mga kababayan nating mga galing sa Dubai at saka galing sa Singapore with Scoot, yan, lalading sila sa Davao. You need to register for One Health Pass, and then you also need to register for Davao QR code. Davao Safe QR code. Okay, now that is clear, let's move forward. What do you need to prepare before you register for One Health Pass? You need your itinerary po because you need your flight details. Next up, you need your passport. Next is you need to have your negative test result. Oh, Jennifer, my negative test result ko, I'm still waiting for the result. Can I still register? Yes, you can. Can I upload my negative test result later? Yes, you can. And reminder that children who are 3 years old and under, so mga bata, mga babies, mga 1-year-old, mga 2 years old, and mga 3 years old, hindi po na kailangan ng negative test result before flight. So they will be tested naman in the quarantine hotel. Pero before flight, hindi na kailangan. Next up is, if you're fully vaccinated, prepare your vaccination card or certificate. If you're unvaccinated, don't worry. You can still enter the Philippines. Now, in summary, everyone must register. Then you must register at least or within 3 days before your arrival date. Then, ECIF po and One Health Pass are the same except kung yung swab testing will be done by Red Cross. But if you're landing in Manila, it's the same po. You only need to register for One Health Pass, nothing more. Next up is you can still edit, update details, and upload negative test result later. So, if you register, let's say, 3 days before your flight and your result is ready na mga 2 days before the flight, you can still upload it po. Pwede pang ma-update ang One Health Pass. Now, let's go register. So, to register, let's go to onehealthpass.com.ph. Again, onehealthpass.com.ph. And then, click E-HTC po. And then when you open it, there is a pop-up warning that all information po that you fill in this questionnaire, you are responsible for that po. So we have to be honest when filling out our vaccination status, our travel history, our contact details, because we can be liable for putting wrong information po if we did it on purpose. This is a national world emergency, no, that we have to be honest po. So the next question is, have you already registered with One Health Pass? No, this is our first time. So again, I showed you earlier, the first question po, when are you arriving in the Philippines? Kailan yung pagdating nyo sa Pilipinas? So this is important kasi nga, you can only register within 3 days before your arrival date. Okay? Within 3 days during your actual arrival date. So if we try lang ha, today is December 11, let's just try register, yung flight mo is December 15 pa. O, di ba? The system will not allow us, hindi ka pa kaka-register, it will not allow us to register. Pero, if yung flight natin is, today is 11, yung flight natin is a 14. Papayagan ba tayo? Yes, kasi 3 days siya before yung arrival date natin. So, again, 3 days within arrival date, pwede mag-register. If sobra 3 days, hindi pa po pwede. So, let's go. Arrival natin is December 14. Here it is. Let's start with a personal profile. But before we go into that, reminder po that all questions, lahat ng question na may asterisk, all the fields in red and with asterisk must be filled out. Lahat po ng nakapula at may markang asterisk ay kailangan po sagutan. You cannot leave it blank kasi po hindi maging successful yung registration na. So, need po na may answer po. Need po na sagutan. So, let's start with the last name, first name. So, these are not real names po. These are just samples, ha? So, birth date. Let's start with year. Let's start with year po. You can type it po or you can also do this here. Pero matagal. So, I'll just type it. Birthday natin is a flight natin. civil status, and then automatically it will show your age po. And let's go to civil status. We're single. Nationality, F for Filipino. That's alphabetical. If you're foreign national, your nationality would also be there. So PhilHealth number, Jennifer, I don't have PhilHealth number. That's okay. Kung wala po kayong PhilHealth number, you just write NA. If you have, then write it there. Next up is passport number. So go get your passport and write down your passport number po. Okay? Next is local Philippine number. So this one is the tricky part. Because most of us who are in abroad, wala lang Philippine number. So what we are going to do here is we are going to borrow the Philippine number of our family or friend in the Philippines. Okay po, we will borrow number from our family or friend in the Philippines. If you don't have your own personal Philippine number, which is understandable, diba? Kasi nasa abroad wala na tayong Philippine number. Next up is email. This is very important, guys. Next to your name, the most important thing is email because you will receive a copy of your QR code in your email, in your BOQ certificate. So it's very important. So let's go here sa email. Yan. Next, name of next of kin. Name of next of kin. Sino yan, Jennifer? So the closest relative who can be contacted in cases of emergency. So sino po yung pinakamalapit na kamag-anak niyo po? Emergency contact, bali yun po iyon. So next of kin, okay. So I'm going to write, these are not real names. So you can write your parents, your husband, your sister, or your anak. Okay, their contact number. So, mas mabuti po talaga Philippines kasi you are gonna be in the Philippines. Address of next of kin. Then, residence details. So, this is very important as well because this address will be used for your BOQ certificate. What address are you going to write in here? Address kung saan ka pupunta o uuwi pagkatapos ng iyong quarantine. Where are you going after you finish your hotel quarantine? Then that's the address that you will write in here. Because some LGUs are still requiring for BOQ certificate. So you will need BOQ certificate to enter your LGUs if it is required. And the BOQ certificate, the address that will be put in there will be the address that you will write here. Kung ano yung ilalagay mo dito, yun yung magre-reflect. So let's just write kung saan ka pupunta after ng hotel quarantine. Okay, then region. So there's region 1 to, if I'm correct, region 13. Okay. And then travel details. Select type of port of entry. So where are you entering the Philippines? I know majority of you are airport. So let's click airport. There's two options, airport or seaport. Tayo are airport. Arriving as passenger or crew? We are passenger. Aircraft passenger. Next is travel itinerary. So go get your travel tickets. The first question is country or territory of port of exit. So in this part, guys, we will use our country of origin. Kung originally, where are you coming from? So for example, in my case, my flight was Australia to Singapore to Cebu. So I will use Australia because that is the country where I originated. This is also going to be used by DOH for contact tracing then, just in case. So I'll put Australia. And city of port of exit, so the airport was in Sydney, so I'll put Sydney here. So are you landing in Manila, in Cebu, or Lawag? Saan ba? So in my case, for presentation purposes, I will use Manila since it's the biggest airport. I will use Terminal 3. My airline is Singapore Airlines. So all airlines are here po. If you can't find your airline here, there's others. Option my others. Let me find here, other airline. And you can write the flight number if wala. Pero in my case, Singapore Airlines, so alphabetical, Singapore S. Flight number, there's also option here, drop down po. If wala po dyan, you can write others and then type the flight number if it's not here. Okay, but mine, I'll choose this one. Next is date of departure. Kailan po yung araw ng pag-alis nyo sa bansa, sa abroad na original kayo nang galing. So in my case, it's the same day arrival, same day flight, December 14. Date of arrival in the Philippines, same days, December 14. We have kababayan, especially in Europe, coming from Europe or USA, next day arrival, no? So remember, as long as it fits the 3 days within arrival, you can register. Seat or bed number, others who already pre-booked their seat number will know by now. So you can just write it here. If hindi nyo pa alam, then that's okay, leave it blank. You can update it po at the airport if it is required. Next question is, with ongoing community transmission of COVID? Yes, there is ongoing community transmission in Australia, both in Singapore as well. So I'll put yes. Next is type of traveler. There's 3 options: foreign national, non-OFW, or OFW. Foreign national, obviously. If you're foreign national po, there's option whether you are a dependent of an OFW or a spouse of a Filipino citizen, a diplomat, medical exemption, or others. You can use others if, let's say, you are a parent of a Filipino child or a retiree in the Philippines. So in my case, I'll go with non-OFW because I am a non-OFW. Pero OFW, pakita ko na din. Dalawang option, merong documented, undocumented. Don't worry po, undocumented, covered pa rin kayo ng free hotel. Then occupation, wala na. For example, documented, land-based or sea-based. Yun lang, guys. Ilalagay nyo din yung employer name ninyo. Now, going back, non-OFW ako, so I'll use non-OFW. So option, I will go with returning resident. That's the easiest, guys. There are other options naman here is return stranded Filipino tourist, J1 visa holder, airline crew, dependent of OFW, yan. So in my case, pwede din others, I'll go with returning resident. That is the easiest one, returning resident. Quarantine hotel or facility booked. So it's really important that we book for our quarantine hotel before we register kasi required siya here. Especially if you are non-OFW, you need to book your quarantine hotel before flying to the Philippines. So in my dreams, I will go with a expensive hotel. Conrad Hotel Bikini Min, 5-star. So if you can't find your hotel here, guys, you have to contact them. Maybe they have a different name. Sometimes that happens too. So I'll go with Conrad Hotel. And then in this part, guys, testing laboratory, it's your choice. If you're flying with PAL, you can choose Detoxicare or PadLab. So kahit ano po dyan, it's your choice. Jennifer, what's the difference? The difference is, Detoxicare po offers expedite testing. So expedite testing, you will pay extra. So you will be tested first. If you avail expedite testing, then you will be tested on the 5th day pa din, pero between 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. So your result will be ready within the day. So as long as may negative test result ka na, and if ever required pa din ng hotel BOQ certificate, you can leave. Some hotels will only require negative test result. So it will depend on your hotel, whether they require only negative test result or negative test result and BOQ certificate. But again, the only difference between PadLab or Detoxicare offers expedite testing. But if it's a regular testing or if it's a regular testing only, then it's 2,500 pesos per passenger. Same price with children. For senior citizens and people with comorbidities or disabilities, you can avail for a discount, but you have to contact them in advance. So in my case, I will choose Detoxicare. Even though I'm not a Philippine Airlines passenger, I can choose Detoxicare. It's your choice. Next up is vaccine information. Now, this is very important because if you're fully vaccinated, you can avail a shorter quarantine of 6 days. Unvaccinated people will quarantine for 8 days. So have you been vaccinated for COVID-19? Yes. First dose? Yes, I received my first dose. Date of first dose. So I received my first dose May 7. And the name of vaccines or different brands are posted here. You can just choose. The Philippines uses a lot of different brands. So in my case, I received Pfizer Comirnaty. Batch of first dose, it's not without asterisk, so you can just leave it blank. Country were vaccinated, that's with asterisk, so we have to answer it. I was vaccinated in Australia. Region, vaccination center, no asterisk, I just leave it blank. Here, first dose adverse effects, I just leave it blank. Ang meaning lang po ito, nagkaroon ba kayo ng negative side effect na talagang serious? So I'll just leave it blank. Second dose, did you receive your first dose? Yes. For those who received J&J, don't worry po, you're still considered fully vaccinated because J&J is a single shot lang, di ba? Or even if you receive Sputnik Light, that's also single shot, considered fully vaccinated. Now, let's go because I received Pfizer. It's two shots, so I'll go with my second dose. Yes, I received my second dose. Date of second dose, I received it June 7. June 7. Name of vaccine. My brand of vaccine was still the same. Pfizer Comirnaty. And then, country we're vaccinated, still the same. I was vaccinated in Australia. Then, wala lang asterisk, just leave it blank. Next up, this one, upload vaccination card or certificate. So this is important, guys. And reminder that they will only accept JPG or JPEG. So they will not accept PDF file po or docs document. It has to be JPEG or JPG. So if you have a vaccination card, pwede nyo po siyang picturean. If you have your vaccination certificate PDF file, pwede nyo po i-screenshot sa phone and magiging JPG na po yan or JPEG. So like in my case, since I am using a computer and my vaccination card or certificate was in PDF file, I convert it pa. I just research PDF to JPEG convert and madali lang naman po. Kung hindi po tayo techie, picturean nyo na lang po, i-print nyo then picturean nyo po. And reminder that please upload a clear photo of your vaccine card or certificate. The photo must be in JPEG or JPG format where your details including name and address are indicated. Okay, let's go choose file. So I just saved it here already. Then this is my vaccination certificate. So just loading, let's just wait till it loads. See, it's a JPG file. So I got vaccinated, yan. Then, next up is, they're asking for the second photo. So, my vaccination certificate is just a single photo. I'll just re-upload na lang. Re-upload ko na lang. Same thing. Okay. Then, let's go to COVID-19 RT-PCR test result. So, guys, Jennifer, what if I don't have my negative test result yet? Kasi po, I'm still waiting for the result. That's okay. We can upload it later. We can still update this. But for presentation purposes, I already have my negative test result po. So you can choose to do this one day before your flight, yung lahat na prepared. So do you have a negative COVID test result? It has to be RT-PCR, guys, ha, not antigen. You need to ask your lab to put RT-PCR specifically to avoid any issues. Some kababayans were offloaded or were not allowed to board the flight because they had antigen. Again, we only accept RT-PCR, hindi po yung antigen. It has to be taken within 72 hours before departure. So yes, I already have my negative test result. And again, they will only accept JPG or JPEG. Okay, negative test result here. RT-PCR yan. It's not clear but it says here, clearly RT-PCR. And it should also mention the times yung na-collect po yung test nyo po. Okay. Countries traveled, worked, visited, or transited. So, originally, nanggaling ako sa Australia. Yung original country nyo, ilalagay nyo. And then, saan kayo nag-transit? If wala kayong transit, then wala na. Isang country lang ilalagay. Unless nag-travel ka for the last 30 days sa ibang bansa. But in my case, Australia, and then nag-transit ako sa Singapore. So, I'll put Singapore. Okay, and then exposure history. Have you been exposed to a probable or confirmed COVID-19 case for the last 14 days? Or if asymptomatic, 14 days before swabbing or specimen collection. So let's just be honest. In my case po, wala naman. Hindi naman na-expose, so I will put no. Have you been in a place with a community, with a COVID-19 transmission? Yung mga hotspot areas po, nagkaroon ka ba ng symptoms before the onset of symptoms and signs? So, nagkaroon ba tayo nahawaan ba tayo, nakapunta ba tayo sa isang lugar na may hawaan ng COVID-19? So, wala naman po. In my case, I'll put no. We just have to be honest, no? Next question is, have you been sick in the past 30 days? Nagkasakit ka ba? So, kung nagkasakit, ilalagay mo lang kung nagkaroon ka ba ng headache, fever, sore throat, yan, diarrhea. Oh. So, in my case po, no, thankfully. Next question is comorbidity. Meron ba tayong existing na mga sakit po? Meron ba tayong diabetes, history of cancer, gastrointestinal, lung disease, neurological disease? Okay po. Or kung hindi nakalagay dyan, we can type it here. And lastly, data privacy and affidavit undertaking. So, it's just here po that we are responsible for the information that we put. And this one pala, number 3. I am staying at the hotel I indicated as a consequence of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. I hereby voluntarily submit myself to undergo facility quarantine for 10 days. Jennifer, has the quarantine days changed? No po. Don't worry po. This one is just not updated. Pag fully vaccinated, 5th day testing, lalabas na ng hotel ng ika-6 na araw. Pag unvaccinated, 7th day testing. On the 8th day, pag lumabas na yung negative test result and BOQ certificate, you can also be released. So don't worry about this one. This is just not updated. Only people coming from red list will quarantine for 10 days. Pero majority of you from yellow or green, yun lang po, 6 days or 8 days. Don't worry about this 10 days here. It's just not updated. This is just not updated. So next is, we just hereby attest that information is correct and true. And then copy lang po natin yung CAPTCHA. Dapat correct. NNB, MNNC. Okay. And then, recheck po, review po natin that we have filled out all red asterisk so that we don't have to go back. Isang submission lang. Okay, just double check po, especially your name and email address. Okay, correct naman. Residence, okay. So far, okay naman po. I think we're ready. Let's go. Let's go. Submit na ite. Here, so each-HTC, we just click generate QR code. Success! Yan! Here is our unique QR code, our OSS number, our name, our arrival date. Wala pa yung seat number natin, so we can update this pag meron na tayong boarding pass. Pag nakapag-check-in na tayo. And then, NAIA Terminal 3. Okay, lahat correct naman. Yay! So, let's check sa email kung natanggap natin. It's very important na matanggap sa email. If we don't receive it on our email, then something is wrong. Yan. Diba? Wala lang minutes. Ito yung copy ng ating One Health Pass QR code. So, you can screenshot guys. You can print this. So, for example, screenshot ko lang. Screenshot ko. Ito, pinaka-importante. Screenshot mo yan. You can do that. And then print it. You can print this or you can save a copy on your phone. So if you're traveling with children, I suggest po that you print it because it's easier access. Or if you're traveling with senior citizens po, print it. It's easier to access kasi you will take it out mga 3 times during your trip and even arrival in the Philippines. And the airport Wi-Fi may not be reliable or fast. So, it's good that you have a copy on your phone or you print it. Okay? So, that's it po. Remember that children will also have their own unique QR code. Okay po, this is all for this video po. I hope this video helped you. And if it did, don't forget to like this video and share it to anyone who will be traveling soon.